My name is John O'Sullivan. I'm an environmental advisor with SSE Renewables. Today we're at Galway Wind Park in the west of Ireland. It's a joint venture between SSE Renewables and Greencoat Renewables.
In relation to the rehabilitation and restoration of peatlands on the Galway Wind Park site, which is Ireland's largest wind farm.
We're working with SSE Renewables on a project to demonstrate the carbon reduction potential of restoring degraded peatlands. Throughout Ireland, over 90% of our peatland resources are degraded, and in particular in our blanket bogs, the vast majority of these are in bad ecological status. So one of the main objectives of this project is to demonstrate the carbon reduction potential of restoring these former blanket bogs back to a semi-natural state. When measuring greenhouse gases at a project site, we're interested in a number of environmental variables such as soil moisture, water level, and light, in addition to measuring two of the main greenhouse gases. These include carbon dioxide and methane with this analyzer. We measure the gases both with a light reaction using a closed chamber method, in addition to understanding microbial respiration by covering the chamber. The closed chamber methodology draws air in from within the chamber, passes it through the analyzer and back into the chamber, continuously measures carbon dioxide and methane concentrations within the chamber over typically 2 to 3 minute cycle. We repeat this every month throughout the year to get an annual estimate of emissions.
Whenever we do these measurements, we're measuring carbon emissions and methane emissions from the collar here. But whenever we take those measurements, we also want to know the soil moisture and temperature, because these are variables that could potentially affect the emissions that we're measuring. So it's more kind of to understand why we're getting the readings that we are in terms of carbon and methane. So that's what these probes are here that we've put into the ground: soil moisture and temperature. And this is the data logger here, and I have it hooked up to the tablet, so I just want to go into the app here and make sure that everything is working properly. So here on the lid of the chamber as well, we also have a light sensor, so it'll tell us how strong the sun is, and that's something important when we're looking at these measurements as well. And then we have this fan hooked up as well, so that'll circulate the air around so that we're getting a representation of what's actually going on inside the chamber. We have 9 of these at this site, 9 collars altogether. 3 different stations, 3 collars at each. So we're measuring different ecotopes. So we have kind of a blanket bog control site, which is ideal scenario what we'd like to see more of on the site. Then we have here where we're inside a Sitka spruce plantation, which for carbon storage and for on peatlands, it's not actually a great scenario. So we'd like to see this look more like the control site. And then we have a 3rd station that's where trees have been planted, but they were burnt in the past, but the ground is still disturbed. You know, we have these ridges there that cause the water table to drop a bit. So they're 3 different stations for comparisons.
This area is where we will complete the 2 habitat management plans, and they will essentially reinstate the sections of conifer plantation which are poorly performing back into blanket bog.
This was a bog once, and we aim to restore it to a bog. We'll do a year of baseline monitoring where we know what's going on at the control site and we know what's going on here, and then we'll do restoration works to basically change these sites so that they're a better carbon sink, and it'll help mitigate climate change.
So it's fantastic that we're rehabilitating peatlands on this site in an ecologically friendly way. So we're part of an EU Life project, so it's called Multi-Peat, and this project involves partners from Poland, from Ireland, from Germany, from the Netherlands and from Belgium. So we're correlating and collecting information across the different countries and improving our habitats and the biodiversity and indeed the carbon sequestration situation.